Another biolab has been found. Are you kidding me, guys? Are you ready to retire? And we're also going to talk about the truth about the war. This is just getting out of control. Now, if somebody told you that our country was a big bully, how would that make you feel? Now, I'm talking about on a global level here, all right? At least that's what some call us. And we have not even begun to talk about what's being done here at home. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what interest that we have in the alleged Sudan civil war. Is it like how we have interest in Ukraine where there are supposed, and I'm using the term lightly, supposed biolabs located there? Do you guys think that this could be the case for Sudan as well? Now, we also like to think that there's always a way out if we're talking about tough financial troubles. Well, not all of us think that way, and it's mostly those who put all of their trust into a government to suddenly clear us of debt when, to be honest, they can't even clear themselves of it. And I mean, what's being done about all these retailers that are shutting down and closing down for good? Is that good for the economy? How about those local communities who rely on that store? Now, right off the top of my head, I can tell you that local communities, they're going to suffer because the Walmart just closed their doors. How many people are going to lose their jobs in that local area? How many people's plans will be diverted like no other? And if we're talking about planning, how many of you are thinking of retiring soon? Do you think that it's a good idea that, we're all bound to face an economic downturn? Just comment a quick yes or no on that one. Now, I'm asking because, we're also going to be discussing layoffs today, and you will not believe just how many people continue to lose their jobs these days. Now, before I continue, do me a solid one and drop a like for the video and share this video. It totally helps a lot out with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps to get more facts out to people who need to hear it. And if you guys are new here and in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to the economy, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, the housing market, the stock market, and everything going on in Washington, D.C., make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for the best way to invest in gold or silver, check the links in the description down below this video. Now, you cannot put a price on the truth. And to be honest with you guys, we shouldn't be paying for the truth anyway. It's something that we're owed because being fed convenient lies doesn't necessarily prepare us for what's about to come. Now, we keep hearing about things, being okay and that the economy is doing great. How can they say that when we're hearing about layoffs every single day? And it's not like small companies either. I mean, these are big companies. Check this out. So Disney, they're planning to cut 15% of their staff in their entertainment division. I mean, just think about this for a second, right? This is freaking Disney, Walt Disney World, and its primary goal is to entertain. But these cuts will affect their TV, their film, their theme parks, and corporate teams in every region wherever they operate. Now, if I remember correctly, they announced this back in February when they said that employees should expect 7,000 layoffs, and by the time this video's out, it may have already happened. Then you got Ernst & Young, that huge accounting firm. They've also announced layoffs of 3,000 workers in our country, blaming the impact of current economic conditions, strong employee retention rate, and overcapacity. And this is hitting different parts of their firm. Much like other companies, they're also cutting holiday bonuses for U.S. staff and blame the slowing economy. Now, again, I'm asking you guys, how do you prepare for stuff like this? Now, I know that cuts are mostly announced beforehand, but for some people, finding a job that pays a competitive salary compared to, what they have been earning, it's not as simple as it used to be, especially when you got thousands of other new competitors because everybody else got fired too. And it's gotten to a point where Americans' confidence for retirement has gone way down, even worse than back in 2008. A new poll has come out and shown that only 64% of those working feel confident about their finances during retirement. This is a steep drop compared to the 73% that said the exact same thing last year. Now, the drop can be compared to the financial crisis back in 2008. And every time that these two are compared, we should feel a little bit more and more worried. Are you ready to retire in this kind of condition? Or we're seeing layoffs happening each and every single day? And don't even get me started on stores closing. You know what? Let's go ahead and go there. Let's talk about how major retailers in our country are closing up shop all over. And no matter how they want to spin the story, we all know that theft and crime are heavily involved with why this is happening. And it's not just about profits and all that. Although, of course, money is involved, but companies like Walmart and Target, they're not going to come out and admit that this is the primary cause of why they continue to close stores in cities like Albuquerque, Milwaukee, Washington, Portland, South Bend, Honolulu, Atlanta, and Chicago. Target lost around $600 million in profits in 2022 due to retail theft. Macy's is planning to close 125 stores, and Best Buy is supposedly shutting down 20 stores a year until crime dies down. And while I doubt that these next closures are really due to theft, it is alarming to see that even banks like Wells Fargo are shutting down different branches because more and more consumers are switching to their digital capabilities. And I mean, I'm online a huge chunk of the day, but I'd still prefer to have a brick and mortar spot where I can just kind of walk in, do my banking with a bank teller in person. What about you guys? And since I've already admitted to being online almost 24/7, I happened to find this video on TikTok where a user by the name of David John Balauki, who was a Kenyan writer and activist, was sharing what he said was the truth about the war in Sudan right now. A war that has thousands of American citizens stuck in that country. Here, check this out.
Here is why you should care about the fighting that is going on in Sudan. What's happening there is more than meets the eye. And it's time for the world to discuss the actual truth of what is going on there. America and Russia are at it again, just as they did 60 years ago during the Cold War, when they fought proxy wars right here in Africa, leading to the death of thousands of innocent Africans. They are at it again in Sudan, fighting a proxy war. Let me explain. Two factions of the Sudanese military are fighting each other. One of them is led by Lieutenant General Mohammed Hamdan, head of the paramilitary group known as Rapid Support Forces. The other faction is led by the Sudanese Army Chief, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. So why are they fighting? This is where Russia and USA come into the picture. You see, in the last couple of months, Russia has finalized a deal with Sudan to establish Russia's naval base in Sudan's Red Sea coast. America is not too happy with that. Actually, they're furious. America's ambassador to Sudan, John Godfrey, expressly warned Sudan not to seal that deal with Russia, but they're going ahead and doing just that. And so when the paramilitary unit began fighting the other faction of the army, that wasn't happening in a vacuum. The big problem is that you're not going to hear this in the mainstream media. Neither are you going to hear a lot of African governments voicing this, which is very unfortunate, because Africa must learn to speak its truth and stand on this truth, because truth will set you free. So it is left to the African people, we the African people, to speak this truth and tell America and Russia to get off Africa, to get their hands off Africa. The days of the Cold War, the days of the shenanigans of the Cold War are completely over, and they cannot fight proxy wars in Africa at the expense of innocent African lives. That has to stop. The fighting in Sudan must stop. The puppet masters must stop their evil, diabolic games.
So what are your thoughts on that? Another proxy war for the United States and Russia? Well, if it's the same with Ukraine, then maybe they have a biolab there that's going to be a problem for us all again, huh?
The conflict in the Sudan has taken a dangerous turn. A biolab is caught in the crossfire. Experts call it a potential germ bomb. That's because this lab has disease samples. It stores pathogens related to measles and cholera. There is serious risk of a biohazard.
Well, okay then. That's not very good news. As always, guys, share your thoughts on this down below. Is our country again putting its nose into another country's business? Or are we invested with this one since there's a biolab there? Now, I guess we should be thankful that no one said gain of function just yet, right? Share your thoughts down in the comments, guys. And I know that we talked a lot about finances today, but I do want to share some good news with you guys. While layoffs and debt continues to spike, our cash flow remains stagnant, but this should not be the case. Now, you guys know you can always drop me some comments down below, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Maybe you're a budding entrepreneur who wants to start a couple of small businesses, maybe a home-based business, maybe an online business, or try your hand at side hustles, ventures that can create multiple streams of income. I also get questions about investments, and while I can't tell you where to put your money, I will share with you, that I've been investing in both the stock market, S&P 500, through ETFs, index funds, mutual funds, and I also research gold and silver quite a bit lately. And of course, I'm always looking for opportunities in real estate, purchasing businesses, you name it. But anyway, the comment section is a direct line to me, so feel free to drop me a message down below if you guys want to talk more about these subjects. Hope to hear from you guys soon. But before I go ahead and wrap things up, please do your boy a favor, drop a like for the video and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you guys on the next one.